I'm going to bring the chicken stock over and dump it. So, I don't know if you'll be able to see or not, but basically we were here, and now we are to about here. I don't know, can you even see that? Yeah, okay. So this is hot, so obviously be careful, you don't want to like steam your face off. Ugh. Oh, I recommend doing this over the sink because it will make a mess. Okay, so here we have all of this, you know, the bones and whatnot. And then in the, oh man, I'm tired. This was like all afternoon of cooking. It's 7:58, and I think I started this at like 3 something. So I've been, maybe 4 something. I don't know. It's been a couple hours, and it's really hot in here. All right, so here we are left with, I don't even know if you can see this very well or not, but it's just basically the broth. I have this is a like separatory funnel. You can tell because like the spout starts at the bottom, so basically you pour your liquid in and this will separate off the fat from the rest. So I'm gonna pour it in. There's a screen on the top, but obviously like you saw the colander, it was like, this would not handle that. So I'm just gonna pour it in here, and then you start to see the fat separating off from the broth, and then what you do is you pour off, you know, the fat will rise to the top, and then since the spout is down here, it will pour off the broth minus the fat. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll just let it cool. Actually, no, I won't let it cool. I usually at this point then divide it into 2 or 3 different glass containers that then I'll freeze, and then I have it ready to go in. I usually do it in 2-cup increments because when I make rice, I'll make 1 cup of rice and use 2 cups of liquid. So it's, at least for rice, it's 2 to 1, 2 parts liquid to 1 part rice, and I usually just make 1 cup of rice, which then would yield 2 cups total cooked rice. So that's why I usually just keep it in 2-cup increments, and you can do whatever you want, but just to take it out of the freezer, it's kind of unitized already. So that is it. Let me scoot this back, and then you'll be able to see me probably pour it. Actually, I'm going to do this in the sink just so it doesn't make a huge mess. If it were to make a mess, it wouldn't be a huge mess. All right, and this is not even big enough for what I need, so you can start to see on here. I'm just gonna, you know, it's not clear. It's kind of, as I said before, that it's cloudy, but yeah, I'm gonna let that sit for a little bit so that I can cut off the fat, and then I'll pour it into the unitized units. But you know, one thing that I should note on this at this point is that I did not add salt to this. Anything with a stock or a sauce, you would want to salt at the end because essentially you're concentrating it. So if I were to have added salt in the beginning, when I added all that water, I would be concentrating the flavor and concentrating the salt. So the salt would be really probably overpowering. So I just skip the salt altogether on making stock, and I always figure I can add it to my finished dish or add it at some point while I'm cooking the next dish where I'm using the stock. I would rather do that instead of have this be too salty to start with now. Then you have to add water back, and it's just a hassle. So I just eliminate that step. So yeah, that's it. It's really easy. It's just time consuming. So it's not a difficult thing to do. It just takes a while to do. So that is it. Sorry for the light flare. It's getting kind of dark outside, so not ideal. I'm not a pro at all the cinematography and lighting and whatnot. I'm just using my iPhone for this. So anyways, that is essentially it. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Like, and this is what I'm sending you. So it's just a glass container. It'll be 2 cups, and then I'll just stick it in the freezer and let it freeze. And then when I want to use it, I just take it out one at a time, and it's super easy to use. So yeah, all right, that's it. Cool. So I hope you can try it, or at least this gives you a little bit of an easier understanding of making a stock, and that it's really not too difficult to do. It just is a little bit time consuming. But in my opinion, it's worth it. This is going to be so much more flavorful than store-bought or even bouillon. Bouillon's okay if you don't have this, but I like this better. In my opinion, it's better. It makes everything taste like more homemade from scratch. So anyways, bisous.